What's up, y'all?
Hey, go ahead and subscribe,
Yeah,
as we always ask you to do.
exactly. Get on it.
See ya.
Live from Washington, D.C., you are listening to Just John and April on the Lance J Radio Network.
Just between you and me, there's a line, there's no tricks.
Welcome to Just John and April, the relationship podcast, your place to level up your intimacy. Yes. Lance J Radio Networks, WOLDC, WVOL Nashville. And now, I believe, KIXI 880 AM in Seattle.
Yeah.
It's very exciting. And how you doing, babe?
I think I'm doing okay.
Why'd you pause?
Well, so whenever we record late at night, you really are the one that actually has problems usually at night. But for some reason, this time around, it just seems later than usual.
Well, usually,
I'm struggling.
We don't usually record this late.
That's true. You're right.
So I am a little. I'm trying. I'm staying hype.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
getting into the convo.
Keep it hype.
I just may mess up some words, and
Who cares?
you know,
You know what I'm
may
saying?
read something wrong.
Yeah.
So
The audience is fine with all of those things.
You
know what I'm
know.
saying? So we know 2020 was a bad year.
Yeah.
Probably the worst year of our generation. And I mean, it's like generationally bad, like, you know, the Great Depression. You know what I'm saying? I think that would go down probably as being that way. And I actually think we're going to look back at 2020 years from now and say people that lived through that have a specific kind of resolve.
True.
There's something amazing about those kind of people.
Yeah.
And of course, we're all talking about what happened in 2020, the big thing, which is that Taco Bell discontinued
Oh
the
my God.
Mexican pizza.
I'm all like, oh, he's so profound in this opening.
Yeah.
Banter.
Seriously,
Wow.
I want to know, why do companies, we haven't looked this up, why do
Oh my
companies,
goodness.
especially fast food chains, why do they decide to get rid of the thing everybody likes?
Listen.
I don't get that.
So that they can bring it back.
Well, I don't know about
That's
that.
why.
Nah.
so they can bring it back.
Hold on. That might be the case, except that we read about this one. We
We
read
did.
about what happened with Taco Bell, and it turns out the reason they brought it back is because people were just going so nuts. People literally started signing petitions and stuff
they
saying,
started signing
Mexican pizza?
petitions. And I was like, you know how many petitions we need to be signing with other stuff
Right,
that means
real stuff.
something?
Yeah.
But I will say, growing up, that Mexican pizza,
oh yeah, you love that joint.
what?
Yeah.
And I would ask, so if you get Mexican pizzas, y'all, from Taco Bell,
Mm-hmm.
you have to ask for lettuce and sour cream on top.
Mm-hmm.
Woo!
Now, first of all,
Let me tell you something.
what's funny
I used
about
to tear
this?
them jokers up.
You tore it up, but you had no idea at the time that you had you were allergic to milk. And you were eating cheese and sour cream.
Listen, and then would
regularly.
have a stomach ache that night.
Yeah, and you didn't
Yeah.
even know why.
And didn't know why.
So what's great is the good news, we're going to bring it here on this show, is that the Mexican pizza is now back. I think it came back in April of this year.
It did. It's back, and people are really excited.
Of course
I'm
they are.
excited for them because it's
You're
so
not
good.
eating. You're not eating one. Though.
I'm not, but that joint
Yeah.
is so good,
Right.
man.
Well, you don't know.
And I don't even
It's
like
been-
Taco Bell
It's
no
been
more.
like 20 years since you've had Taco Bell.
That is
so
very
you wouldn't
true.
even know.
And you know, I don't even eat like that. I don't even eat fast food like that.
Right.
Except for Chick-fil-A.
Well, that's true. That doesn't
That's the
count.
only.
That
That doesn't even count as fast
Right,
food to
doesn't
me.
count. Exactly. All right, what we talking about today, babe?
So okay, so I don't know if you remember this DM that we got.
Okay, what was
Well,
it
you
about?
should remember it because I believe you were the one that responded.
Okay.
But the DM was about this person DM'd us. We get a lot of DMs on IG
do.
and so many questions and people having different situations. They want us to help them and we love to respond.
And you can DM us if you'd like. If you're
Yeah.
not following us on Just John and
Exactly.
April on Instagram now, go ahead and do it at Just John and April. Spelled exactly the way it sounds. John with an H, not Jon, John. Just John and April. And you can DM us. Ask us anything.
Yeah, and so we love to, just have conversations with people back and forth, whatever. And so this lady was just saying that she was having issues with finding her husband sexy, that she doesn't find him attractive in that way, and she wants to. She wants to find him sexy, but she just sees him as, this teddy bear, this guy who, when he tries to be sexy, it makes her laugh because it's not something that turns her on. He looks funny trying to do it.
Right.
And she's like, what should I do? Because she wants to find him
Yes.
attractive in that
Right.
kind of way.
Right.
And so I thought about, said, this is crazy because they're married.
Right.
And it's like, how are you married to someone and you're not attracted to them in that way?
Right.
You know
so,
what I'm saying?
so I guess we should start with that question.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, do you think you could have married me if you did not find me sexy? Like
don't-
like
I
maybe you're
don't
attracted to me in
think
other
so.
ways, but just you. Just didn't
I
find
don't
me
think so. I don't, because I don't know.
Hold on.
I'm not going to say that.
Okay.
I'm
Why?
not going to say that. I'm
Why?
not going to say that because I don't know, knowing you, like I really like your personality.
Mm-hmm,
I like all of that stuff. And that may be that is a part of the attraction.
Yes.
But I think that, like if the sexiness was gone, I'm wondering if I still would, like you in that way, even though.
Well, it depends
You
on
know
what
what I'm saying?
it depends on what it is about me that you find sexy. Because
That's
the
true.
reality is that there are aspects of us that we could find sexy that would change over time. If what
Physically.
you right, if what you thought about me was
That's
sexy
true.
was my muscles,
Yeah.
then by age 70 I don't have them anymore. You wouldn't
Right.
find me sexy anymore. So, and I don't know if that's what it was or what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Did you have muscles when I met you, babe?
Yeah, but I wasn't Diesel. I was actually pretty skinny. So no, you're
Exactly.
right. I did, yeah.
You were so
I was
skinny.
a beanpole.
You were a beanpole. And you did have some muscles in there. But it wasn't like,
yeah, right. Yeah, I
So
wasn't
no,
some
that is not,
bodybuilder or
that's
nothing like that.
not
That's not the
what,
thing.
that
Right.
was not the thing. I mean, I liked your body. I like the way you wear your clothes and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I like the way you wear your clothes.
Yes.
But the thing that attracted me most, the thing that made you sexy is your, your confidence. You know what I'm saying?
It was more of a personality thing,
More
where I
of
carry
personality,
myself.
where you carried yourself.
Yeah.
So I no.
All right.
So the answer is no.
Right. So I think the answer for me is no too.
Yeah, I don't think I could.
So here's
I was
what I
trying
say.
to be, I was trying to find it, but no.
Yeah, but and see, I guess the problem is we did not marry people that we were not physically attracted to, people that we didn't find sexy. We find each other sexy, so it's hard to answer that question.
Right.
But I feel like the way I would answer it if I was still single is, for me, that may be what separates a girlfriend or a friend from a wife, is this thing that we're going to be together forever until either one of us dies. And so because of that, there's a little bit extra that's necessary in that situation. I need to be attracted to you physically,
Right.
not just find you fun to be around,
So-
or just be your friend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I
Like
do.
that's for me,
So-
I think.
So there's more to it. You can't just say you need to marry your best friend.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It is nice
Even
that
though
I think I married my best friend.
I think I married my best
Yeah,
friend too.
that
But
worked.
I think that you have to figure out what's important to you.
Right.
Because it wasn't just important that I married my best friend. It was
Right.
also important that I was attracted to you.
Yes.
At that level.
Right,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
Yes,
So I
yes.
needed both because I
Yes.
had a lot of friends that I considered best friends.
Yes.
Matter of fact, I dated some guys
That you were really close to.
We were best
Yes,
friends. Like we
yes.
had a blast.
Right.
But that attraction wasn't at the level. There was even an attraction there. But not at the
It
level.
wasn't at
that
marriage level.
No, not
Right.
for me. Not for
that's
me.
where I'm at too. That's
Yeah.
what, for me, that was the differentiation.
Yeah.
The thing that changed things. The line of delineation for me,
Yes.
if this is on my wife or not, was she attractive enough for me? Seriously, I'm serious. I needed to be attracted to more than just your personality. I needed to be able to, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, that was
For
me.
you.
Yes.
Yes.
And here's the funny thing. At first, when I was in college and I was looking for a wife, because that's when I started looking for a wife, I actually thought that was shallow. I thought it was shallow to even consider whether or not the woman is physically attractive. And then my father said something to me. My dad actually said, this is a woman you're going to have to wake up to the rest of your life. He said, you better be attracted to her. And when he said that, I said, you know what? You're right. That's not shallow to think of that.
No.
I wasn't not thinking of the other stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought the other stuff was important too. But some people, I think, may go into these relationships downplaying that aspect of it. And I don't think they should. I
No.
think it's important if you're going to marry somebody that they have the
They're
package, the full
physical
package.
attraction.
But the physical attraction.
Physical
I think is part
attraction.
of
So you
that.
have to say that physical
Yes.
attraction, because the other attraction, you can be attracted to their personality.
Exactly.
You can be attracted, but then
Right.
the physical attraction, is that a top priority for you?
Right.
And for me, it was.
Right.
You know, I'm physically attracted to you, and I was attracted to your personality.
Right. So for me, it was definitely a top priority, but not to the detriment of the other things. So I
Yeah,
felt
yeah,
as
yeah.
though I needed that to be just as important as the rest.
Yes, it needs
I
to be on
didn't-
the same level.
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't want it to be where physical attraction was ahead of the other things, like whether or not you were a spiritual person, whether or not you loved
You had
God,
character.
you know, whether or not you had good character, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
All
yeah,
that
yeah.
stuff was important too.
Yeah.
But this was on the same level as those things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think for some people that may not be on the level, the same level initially. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes. Maybe it becomes on the same level later.
Later,
But it's not
you're
right
like,
away.
oh
Yeah.
man, I kind of want to
Yeah.
be sexually attracted to my partner.
Yes.
In that way, you
Now,
know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you a question, because I've heard this before, and you know we have a couple of minutes before we go to break. Here's my question: do you think this is different for men and women? Do you think men, when it comes to being attracted to their wife, girlfriend, whatever it is, do you think it's somehow different from the things that make a woman attracted to a,
I
man,
do.
to a man? Okay,
I do.
So
and I have,
what do
I
you
have a
think?
good example.
Okay.
Okay, so like when I went to high school, I remember going to this new high school, and the girls were like, "Oh my goodness, everybody likes this guy, this particular guy."
Right.
Everybody, and I was like, "What? Why?" Like it was like, "Please," and they were like, "Oh, you're gonna like him too." I'm telling you, I was like, "Anyway, I will not be liking him."
Right.
You know, because I was not physically attracted to
So
this guy.
when you saw where he looked, you're like, "There's no way."
I was like,
Why
"There's
is
no
this-"
way.
Right,
Why?
Right.
What?
Right.
Like it was shocking.
Right.
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 And then as I continued to go through the year, you know, with this person and became friends with him, I was like, okay, I see
Now
why
you
now.
get why they like him.
I did not end up liking him like
Yes,
that.
but you can see why other women
I
did.
could see why. I was like, okay.
So there
I
was
could see why he's
something else
attractive.
that was there besides his looks that made him
Yes.
attractive. So
Yes.
are you suggesting then that for women, maybe it doesn't necessarily have to just be how they look on the outside? There are things about the way this person will carry himself or how he will act that will actually impact the way he looks on the outside
Yes.
now.
But I did not see that with men. I did not see guys growing up. It was like the cute girls were all the cute girls.
Right.
That was
Right.
it. There
Right.
was no, this girl here has a great person. I mean, she's
Right.
hilarious.
Right.
Smart
Right.
as what.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
Right.
the life of the party.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it didn't turn to, oh, because now they know her
Right.
in that way. It's now, she's now the cute one.
I agree.
It just didn't work like that.
I agree. Growing up, that's how it was for us too. There were certain girls who looked a particular way, who were always the hot girl that you wanted to date or whatever. The people with a lot of personality were cool. You'd hang with them, but they never
Got to
their
that
their
level.
personality didn't change the way they looked
Right.
to us. And
But-
for us, looks were the most important thing.
But
back
for
then.
guys, I always noticed that girls who were fine,
yes,
that were not nice or were
Yes.
stank or whatever, they end up not liking them.
yes,
They
it
were not as-
But hold on, but it takes longer.
It does. It does.
So a guy
And
will
it
put
takes a
up
lot
with a
more.
crazy
That's
girl,
true.
in fact,
That's true.
for long if she's really fine. You stay with her for now. You may not marry her. You know
And
what I'm
that's
saying?
because men are more, they're visual.
I think so.
But I
Yeah.
think some women are visual. Like,
Oh,
I'm
there's
a
no
visual
question.
person.
Yes.
Like, I'm very visual. Like, I'm sorry. I'm visual.
Yeah.
And so I think it is, for me, I'm a visual person. So
Right,
I can
right.
understand that.
Yes,
I can.
right.
But I think for me, it needs to be that you are just as beautiful on the inside. It's got to match.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay, so when we come back from break, I want to ask you what advice you would give to this lady, because we really haven't touched what her question was.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
What advice
yeah.
would you give to her? Because she's already married to him.
Yeah.
So we can't be like, yeah, just break up with him.
Right,
That's
right,
not
right,
what
right.
we do.
No,
That's not our
no,
job. That's
no.
not our brand.
Exactly.
Okay. we're going to try to help her to figure out a way
Yes,
to get
to work
the
it
most
out.
of this.
Yeah.
So we're going to get to that advice right when we come back.
All right.
You're listening to the Lance J Radio Network.
Paragon 7 Studios.
Lance J Radio Network. John and April. Back at you. This is a fun topic because these are the kinds of things that everybody has opinion about, but people aren't going to necessarily share their opinion. You know what I'm saying?
There are true feelings about this.
And I
because
wanna
people
say-
are seen as people think that you're shallow.
That's right. But I actually want to say this to this lady. She had a lot of courage telling us that
Yeah.
she doesn't really find her husband attractive in that way. Now, she didn't actually say those words. She never said she wasn't attracted to him. She just said she wasn't like
She said
turned on by him.
sexy.
She didn't think he was sexy.
Yeah.
Right.
I think there is something to that though.
I
Because
agree
she
with you.
obviously is attracted to him.
Correct.
Because
That's the
she's
assumption just because
yeah.
they got married.
Right. She's
know, there
attracted
was
to
something.
something about
Yeah,
him. She
yeah.
likes him.
Right. Yeah.
But not
Yeah.
sexy. And see what that does is that begins to affect the physical intimacy later.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you are trying to get in the mood.
Yes.
And
yes.
and
yeah,
she
there's
said
an obstacle.
like it makes her laugh when he tries to be sexy.
Right,
So then that
right.
might kind of turn her off, and then
Yeah.
it's like, so.
So before we
what
get
do
into
you
that,
do about
but
that?
before we get into giving her advice,
Okay.
whatever it is, I want to ask you another question.
Yeah.
Right. So, do you think it's possible to be attractive without being all that good looking? I think you kind of answered that before this.
Definitely.
That for women, it seems like
Yeah.
that's the answer is yes. So you can be attractive to somebody even though that person is not. You can be attracted to them even though they're not cute, like classically
Yeah.
handsome or classically beautiful. You know what I'm trying to say?
Right.
What do you think? How do you feel?
Definitely.
Okay. all
Oh
right.
yeah, for a woman.
Yes.
Women like. I'm telling you, men can be. You know, their personalities
Mm-hmm.
can make it so that women are attracted to them. They can have a swag that is just like.
Yeah.
You know,
You got out of this world
oozes
swag.
out of him.
Yeah,
and it just changes all his features.
Okay. And he
You know
just
what I'm
looks
saying?
different to you.
I'm telling you. I mean, I have seen guys where when I first met them, I saw them a certain way, and then when I got to know them, they were actually cute. They actually look good to me.
Now, you said something about us earlier that I said takes a long time. You said we can date girls
But for
and then
guys-
find out later on, and then it changes the way we think about them, whatever, but it takes longer. So, conversely,
Yeah.
sounds like for you as a woman, you have experienced men who maybe upon looking at them, you thought, man, he's really cute. And then his personality made
and
you
it
be
doesn't
like,
take
he really
long.
doesn't look good at all.
It doesn't take long for women for it to switch.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So you would say that for you and maybe the other women that you know, that
Exactly. Because I'm
that-
not speaking for all women.
right, of course.
So I'm gonna say for me.
But the ones that you know that
and
you're
now
close with,
Yes, I'm close with. Yes.
they would say that a man's personality, how he acts, his character, whatever, those things can impact how he looks. So
Listen.
that a good-looking man can be ugly and an ugly man can actually be good-looking because of that.
Listen, it is so true because even like actors,
Mm-hmm,
right? You know, they're acting a certain way. They have a role that they're playing.
You
and it's
like them
like,
in that
wow,
role. Right,
oh my
right.
goodness, you know. And then you see them in the interview and you're like, that's not the same. So they don't look the same. But I really think personality really can change the way that you appear.
So can I tell the audience who
know
your
what I'm saying?
person was that you used to like and then you didn't like him when you get interviewed? Because I really want to tell them.
Oh.
So April used to really like Terrence Howard. she liked him in Big Mama's House.
Big Mama's House.
and some other movies that he played. It seems like he's typecast as like a tough guy.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
And then she
With some
saw
swag, man.
Right. Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And this kind of goes back to our previous show about manliness or whatever. She saw him on, I think it was Jay Leno or something like that. And something about the way he was talking, it just made April like,
I don't know. It wasn't the
Yikes.
same hardcore
yeah,
guy
yeah,
that
yeah,
I'm seeing.
yeah.
I'm like,
he was actually
he
acting.
don't look the same.
Yeah. That dude was acting in them shows.
He was acting. I mean, he's not a bad looking guy.
Right,
He
I
looks
think
good.
he's classically handsome.
He is a handsome guy.
Yes.
And so it's funny though, because you can act a certain way. But even like I've had guy friends back in the day, like when they play ball.
Yeah.
Like they look so good. Like the
On
girls
the
are like,
court.
ooh.
Yeah.
And then off the court, you're like, that's not the same guy. You know what I'm saying? He don't even look the same.
Wow.
So for girls, I think definitely we can like a guy because he's just got swag. He's got it all.
So the
You know
word
what I mean?
attractive, the word attraction, whatever,
That does
may
not
have a
have to do
slightly
with
different
looks.
definition
Yes.
for men as it does for women.
I
in terms of what we're
believe
thinking
so.
about. Yeah.
Because I rarely see men. I mean, I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen where a woman is not who is not the typical beauty.
Mm-hmm,
Because I think several people are beauty.
Of course.
Are beautiful, but I think it depends on your preference or whatever,
Yes,
but not the
yes.
typical beauty, right?
Yes.
And because she has a confidence, because she walks like and talks like and dresses like I am, then guys are attracted to that. So
So-
I have seen that.
Let me tell you how this has happened to me before. It's kind of weird.
Okay.
I have seen certain women in pictures that look a certain way. For instance, if you look at your yearbook from college,
Yeah.
right? You look at and you're like, man, like there's so many people in there that either they didn't take a good picture or that's really how they looked. But being in their presence was very different. I remember looking at an old picture. I'm like, man, I don't remember her not looking that good. I thought she was cute. Well, I think it might have been this person's aura,
Yes,
their
I'm telling
energy,
you.
their, you know what I'm saying, whatever
That
it is.
will change.
That makes a difference.
It does.
Yeah. So anyway,
You know,
okay.
like
So
your mama said, pretty is as pretty does.
yes, that's very true.
It's true.
All right, let's get to the advice though. This woman DM'd us and asked us what she should do because she is having a very difficult time being turned on by her husband. So she went into a little bit deeper than that too. She talked about wanting him to initiate sometimes and things like that too. But for the most part, the essence of her question was basically, how can I find this dude more attractive? Is basically what it
Right,
is. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
What's the advice we're gonna give her? What do we tell her to
What
do?
do you tell her? Because I was like, man, that's deep.
It is deep. Yeah.
But I think the first thing I would say, and what some of the advice we gave her was to, go back to what was it that attracted you in the first place.
Yes.
You know,
What
because
drew you to
sometimes
this man?
I think life, I think busyness, I think just
Health changes too, April.
years,
You know,
health
over the
changes,
years,
over the
you
years.
may have been a certain weight when we met, and now you picked up 20, 30 pounds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And yes, and looking back now on what was it that attracted me to him in the first place? What was it that drew me to him? You know what I'm saying? And then kind of try to connect back to that.
Yes.
And see if you can
Yes.
reconnect
Yes.
in that way. That's a start.
I think so.
Right?
We also told her that communication was important, but we said this is going to have to be a very careful conversation because you don't want to walk up to your husband and just say, "Hey, I really don't think you're sexy."
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No, but
but there were things that we told her she should probably do in terms of telling him what she needs from him as far as initiation, and when he initiates, what are some of the things that he could do that would turn her on?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think it's okay to, which I think people are uncomfortable with, but in marriage, I think we need to be more comfortable with being able to communicate about our needs in the bedroom.
I agree.
And when it comes
Yes.
to that kind of stuff, what
Yeah.
turns me on? And
Yeah.
being able to say, hey, if you walked in with some Jordans and Speedos, you know what I'm saying? That would really, you know what I
That
mean?
would do it for me.
And not be embarrassed to say that.
Right,
And then
right.
being able to act on that.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying?
yes.
I think that's it's hard.
Yeah.
But I think you got to do that because, and you don't have to say you're not sexy. You don't have to say that, but you can say, I want to get turned on by you doing certain things.
If you,
know
told
what I'm
me I wasn't
saying?
sexy, that would be a
Like,
blow to my
yes.
ego. But if you said to me, babe, the last few times that we've done it, I should say more than the last few times, I'm having trouble being turned on. I would say, oh man, like what do you need?
Yeah.
What is it you need?
And
from me?
sometimes when you do that, it's not some of the things that you do. You think that it's turning me
Yes,
on.
you think that's turning me on, but it
But
actually
it's really
doesn't.
not right.
Exactly.
Like you
Yes.
have to say that.
Yes,
You know
I
what I'm
agree.
saying? Because he
Yes.
may be like, "Oh, I need to up that."
Yes.
And it's like,
But
no, not
that's
that
the
one.
thing.
Not
no,
that.
No. In fact,
And-
let's talk about that over the next few times. Let's talk through
it.
some of the
like,
things that
what
we think
about
we need.
this?
Right.
What about that? Like,
Yeah.
why can't we do that? Like, I don't know why that is something that seems, and I think it's because people say stuff like, well, it's not natural or it's not organic or it's not. But I'm saying what happens is you talk about it, then it turns you once you have talked about it and you know what it is, then the next time it happens is organic. Next time it
Yes.
happens is natural.
Yes.
It's because
maybe not
that's-
that first time it will, but the next time would be when you don't have to you don't have to bring it
Exactly.
up. I just do it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, we hope that we already sent it to her.
Yeah,
and
we hope that
it
helped.
You
Yeah,
know what
we
I'm
hope
saying?
that helped.
But if there's somebody else who's
Yeah.
listening right now on the air that has that same problem, maybe these are some of the things that you could actually do. The reality is, we think you probably found something attractive about your spouse at some point
Definitely.
that made you actually say, I do.
Right.
You know
I
what
would
I'm saying?
hope so.
Yes. You got to get in touch with that stuff.
Get in touch with
You
that
know what I'm
stuff
saying? I
and be
think there's a way
honest
to
with
do that.
yourself.
Right. Exactly.
Being honest with yourself and with your partner about what it is
Yes.
that you
Yes.
need.
What's the word of the day? We have a word of the day.
We do. And
we
I
always
like
do.
this word of the day.
I do too.
And I want you to explain it because when you explained it earlier, it
Yes.
was really good.
Yes.
The word of the day is allure.
Allure.
I said that correctly this time,
You did say
late
this
at
time.
night. Aren't you
Yes,
proud of
did.
me?
I am proud of you. Very proud of you, man. You actually haven't messed up anything tonight. It's
I
been
did
me.
good.
I've been the one. You know
Have
what I'm saying?
you?
Yeah, man.
I'm
I was
proud
all
of myself.
tongue-tied earlier. You know what I'm saying? So here's what it means. The quality of being powerfully and mysteriously attractive or fascinating. Now, okay, I'll tell you why we chose this word,
Yeah.
and the reason why April wanted me to explain it is specifically because there is a mystery sometimes in what it is that attracts us to someone else. And sometimes it's not necessarily just the fact that they are classically handsome or beautiful.
Right.
So that mysterious thing, and by the way, there could be, 13, 14 different things, you could be attracted to how the person's different from you. You could be attracted to how
yeah.
the person is similar to you. You could be attracted to their smell.
Yes.
You could be attracted to obviously how they look. That's when we say
Yes.
attractive, we normally mean looks.
Yeah.
But there are so many other things that
Listen,
can be
I
attractive.
could not
to.
believe that when John started using a new shaving
It was like an aftershave.
lotion type
Yeah.
aftershave thing,
Yeah.
and I smelled him because I don't really like cologne and all that stuff because I'm allergic to all that stuff.
Yeah.
But this was it wasn't too much. I was like, ooh, I can see now how people are attracted
Right.
to the
To
smell.
person smell.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now you also told me that there was somebody you were dating years ago who had a particular smell. That the guy didn't stink, but there was
Right.
this smell that he had.
It
when
was
you went
just
to him.
his.
You were
It
like,
was his
"Eh."
smell. You know, how people have
Yeah.
their smell.
You
It's
didn't
kinda
like. You didn't like that. You were repelled by that smell. Repulsed by it. But I'm just saying, there's a lot of different stuff. So just
Oh my
because
goodness.
your spouse maybe doesn't do it for you physically from a classically handsome or beautiful, that doesn't mean there isn't some other mysterious thing that
Right.
attracts you to them.
Right.
And so you need to explore that
you
and think about that.
Or that you can find.
Precisely. You can find it. It's
can
there.
find it,
Yes. You better
okay?
find it because y'all together forever.
Listen,
You know what I'm saying?
you gotta find it. You gotta find that
Yes,
mystery. That
exactly.
mystery that's
There's
there
a
because
mysterious thing that's there.
that's
bringing the
there
children
because it
together.
brought you together in the
Yes,
first place.
exactly.
You gotta figure out what it is. What is it again?
Yes.
Like
exactly.
bring it back.
Yes, bring it
okay?
back. Yeah, bring it
And
back.
then try some stuff.
Yeah, man.
You know?
For real. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. See what I'm
Yeah.
saying? See how tongue-tied I get it? You know what I'm saying?
Sorry, babe, it's
at
late.
night, you know what I'm saying?
It's late.
Yeah, we'll see y'all next time. We're excited to be with y'all again. We've been down and out. In fact, the kids were just commenting on it. John has been playing video games and been yelling in the other room, and April has to keep texting him, "Hey, we're recording in here."
I'm sure you guys heard it. It had to
you
come.
might have. He's like, "Ah!" and he said, "Man, I feel like it's been a long time since you recorded." And he's right. We
right.
took a long break because we were sick, but now we're
Yeah.
glad to be back.
Yes,
So,
we're back.
Thank you,
And
Chance, for being with
I
us.
really love doing this.
I do too. It's
This is a lot of fun.
Yes. I love when you guys are in the comments and stuff too. So
Yes.
comment on this episode and let us know how you feel. Do you have an issue with attraction?
Yeah.
Is there
Is it
something?
important?
Is it important to
Do
you?
you feel it's shallow, or is it
Could you have
something-
married your spouse if you
right?
weren't attracted? What
Or
is
if
it you're attracted to?
If you're not married and you're single, is that something you look for?
Exactly.
You know, is that like top priority?
Right. Yeah.
Because it was for me.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. I got to be able to look at you and be like,
Anyway, see y'all next time.
bye, guys.